I'm Mike Redner. This is Capitol Views, and we have with us today the minority leader in the State House and past majority leader.
Right.
So you've been in both kinds of, well, you're new to the minority leaders post.
Yeah.
But tell us a little bit about yourself and where you came from. And
Yeah, so I actually was born right here in Juneau in 1964. We lived over on Douglas. I was born at St. Anne's Hospital. My mom is from Nome, and my dad is from upstate New York. It was a military marriage made up in Nome, and my grandma was born up in White Mountain, and so I'm part Inupiaq. Grew up all over the state of Alaska. My dad worked for the FAA after he got out of the military. So we lived in Kodiak and Fairbanks and Anchorage, Annette Island on Douglas, moving around as his job moved him around, and it was just a really fantastic upbringing.
and your dress is a little different than others.
Yeah, yep. This is a traditional cussbuck, and this one is made by my friend Chloe Keller in Anchorage. She's from Unalakleet, and she's an up-and-coming seamstress and loves to work with interesting fabrics. And I wear them every Friday in honor of folks that came before me that are of Native heritage and Native descent that have been in those chambers. And it's caught on. Mary Kapsner and her staff, Katie Rowell, started the tradition, and it has really caught on since Katie passed away. We've kind of honored her and Mary and all the other legislators that wore cussbucks traditionally on the floor, and Friday is a good day to do that.
Now, we face a tough session, and you're now a minority leader, and what do you see or hope to see happening?
Well, I hope this session, there's been a lot of public awareness about our fiscal situation. I think this year that the solutions haven't changed from when we were in the majority or I was a majority leader to now. You can do a couple of three things. You can restructure the permanent fund, you can raise revenues, or you can reduce the budget. And it's probably going to take any combination of those three things. And 21 and 11 is what's going to solve our fiscal crisis ultimately, is people coalescing around a plan, whether it's the governor's plan or the new House majority when they come out with their plan, or if it's something like the Jay Hammond 50-50 plan that Senator Dunleavy is proposing. All those are items that we can take a look at and educate our constituents so they understand, what we're facing and what the challenges are, and that, our way we do business in the state is going to change. The fund source is going to change. And so, it's the biggest crisis that we've had since I've been in the legislature, and one that since I can remember. I mean, I'm a lifelong Alaskan. And so those decisions, hard fought for the permanent fund dividend, hard fought for the permanent fund dividend check, and now we're talking about using the earnings reserve in a way that hasn't been done since inception. So, change is what we're talking about, and change is sometimes difficult.
This is probably the most difficult session since statehood. People forget we inherited a revenue regime at statehood, and this is well, it's an opportunity. You get to put in place the foundations.
It's a huge opportunity, and I think that's what, we talk about the downside of it, but the opportunity to restructure government and to have a sustainable budget, for me, that's exciting. That's what folks voted for me to come down and do. I was honest with my constituents when I came down. They know that we're in a fiscal situation, that we need to have some results, and Republicans and Democrats and independents all need to sit at the table with the administration and talk about what we want Alaska to look like. I have 2 grandkids, and this is a legacy that I'm going to leave them, and I think about that every day when I go to work.
And I'm one of your constituents.
You are one of my constituents, yeah.
So everybody's going to have to give up a few druthers and
absolutely
make some sacrifices.
Nobody's going to be 100% happy. And that's the way state government's supposed to work. You're supposed to have intense dialogue and back and forth about issues, because I might think of something that someone else hadn't thought of, or someone else might have thought of something that I haven't considered. So all those things, need to be considered, and we need to be very careful in our deliberations, so we're not impugning people's motives, and we're not, talking in a way in which isn't productive. And I think that I feel like this session, more than ever, people are willing to do that. And I've had more conversations about options and what a fiscal plan could look like just in the short 14 days or 15 days.
You have a lot of new legislators,
Yeah.
freshmen, but a lot of them bring some pretty good background with them.
Yeah, they do. I keep telling people when they say, oh, how are the freshmen? Well, I don't consider them freshmen. You have a lot of them coming from municipal government, from assemblies, a mayor, folks that have been intimately involved in their communities, making those decisions and working in a structure like the legislature. So they come with fresh eyes, with a perspective from a municipality or a borough, ideas, and those you're already seeing those members be incredibly effective in the committee process, talking about those things, which makes me, really happy.
Part of past political issues that leave scars.
They don't have any political baggage per se when it comes to the state budget. They just want to get it right, like the rest of us. And having that perspective and the new ideas, and just coming off of going door to door, they've got things to say and ideas, and we're embracing those in our caucus. It's pretty fantastic. Yeah.
And they're a pretty diverse group. I mean, you have some people that have served in some substantial positions, and
right.
we can all hope that we can all takes constituents too.
Yeah, it does, and I think that looking at the broad scope of the people in our caucus, they're all business people. They've all worked in a corporation setting. They've all had to make payroll. They've all had to make decisions about employees. That's very helpful in this environment because it's people's lives we're talking about.
Right.
And that's something that we remember every day when we go to work, that everything that we do, every vote we take will affect someone in a positive way or a negative way.
Charisse, we're out of time.
Oh,
and it's
thanks.
been a pleasure to have you. We've been talking to Representative Charisse Millett, and the minority leader in the House, past majority leader, and thank you for being with us.
Thanks
This
for
has been
having me,
Capitol
Mike.
Views.
Yeah.